Hey guys, it is Christine. Welcome to another video here on my channel. If you are new, I am a homeschooling mama to 3 and I share homeschool content here. So if that's something you're interested in, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit the like button. I am going to be chatting to you guys about adding enrichment to your homeschool or homeschool enrichment opportunities, how to go about that, and what that could look like for your family. I hope you guys are doing well. I have kind of seen across board on a lot of Facebook groups that parents are pretty tired, that kids are a bit burnt out as well. And so if that's you, if you're feeling that at the moment, I just want to reach out and say, it's not you. It's the time of year. Honestly, I just think everyone's a bit tired with their homeschool at the moment. We don't follow the same schedule as those of you in the States, but those of you who are there and have that schedule where summer's your big break, it is very normal to be feeling tired at this time of year. It's like what I feel like come November time. I'm just tired. So I just want to encourage you that break is almost here and you're not doing anything wrong. Just people feel tired out this time of year. I am going to be chatting to you guys a little bit about homeschool enrichment opportunities. So when I talk about homeschool enrichment, I'm kind of talking about the subjects beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic, because those are kind of like our core subjects that need to be done. They've got like the basic foundations and they're great. Like you can have loads and loads of fun with them. My son, Jack, who's 6, absolutely loves math. Like honestly, he just asks for it constantly and he does it in his sleep basically. So you can have loads of fun with certain subjects, but I feel like the enrichment subjects are the things that you can kind of just connect over a little bit more. They're kind of slower paced and opportunities to just connect as a family and indulge your child's preferences as well as far as like learning goes and what they're interested in. They can also be things that you kind of like outsource. So they could be music lessons and art lessons and, different things like that. And they could also be things that you do together as a family. Like it's totally up to you. But if you are a new homeschooler or you're just looking for ways to expand your homeschool and bring some enrichment to it, then I think that this video will be helpful just to share a few things that may or may not work for your family. So the first thing I'm going to share, and I'm kind of going to go in order of like easiest to, well, not easiest, but just in home to outside the home. So not all homeschool enrichment has to take place outside of the home. In fact, much of it can take place in the home, and you don't have to use outside activities. But of course, many families do like that, and that's fine. But I'm just going to share sort of ideas that we've used, things that we will be using in the future, and just thoughts. And as a second generation homeschooler, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about what my upbringing was like with homeschooling and the kind of enrichment that my mum brought into our homeschool. So first up, I'm going to be talking about online apps because they're kind of like the latest and greatest thing as far as accessibility goes and affordability. They're usually pretty affordable and there are some great ones to choose from. So I'm going to chat about a few that we have used and that I can like happily recommend to you because there's a few that I've used and like we've used several, especially like the early preschool reading, writing kind of ones. And there's really only one that I've come back to over and over again. And so I'm going to chat to you about those. But first of all, the first app it's not an app, but the first website that I'm going to chat to you about is Night Zookeeper. And I had them reach out to me and ask if I would sort of look over their product and then share with you guys. And I'm pretty picky with what I look at. And it's a lot of work to do any kind of sponsored content, and my plate is very full. So I don't generally take on things unless I know that it's going to serve our family, or if I've heard it very highly recommended from others. And my friend Jessica from the Waldock Way, I have seen her mention Night Zookeeper over and over again. So I was like, sure, send it my way. We will have a look at it. So I already knew that it was a creative writing program. So if you've never heard of Night Zookeeper before, it is a creative writing program that is designed for children ages 5 through 12 plus. And essentially, it's like a wonderful interactive way of doing creative writing. Now, I personally have really enjoyed it because my son Jack is 6 and he has an on-fire imagination. But as we all know, handwriting development is not always there in those like early years of elementary, and that's completely developmentally appropriate. However, it can cause frustration if they want to write or you want them to write and they're not physically capable of doing that, or it just takes them a really long time. That can be frustrating. So what I like about Night Zookeeper is that Jack can go on there and practice creative writing, but it doesn't depend on his actual handwriting skills yet. So that has been a fun relief. And like, my kids don't realize that when I give them these games to play online that they're learning games. They just think that they're being given games to play. So it kind of works really great. So there's a couple more things that I want to chat to you about it. If you are interested, like I said, it's interactive. There's games, there's activities for them to do on it. There are weekly lessons and then interactive games that go along with that and activities. They also have publishing opportunities for your children. And there are weekly competitions where you can win real life prizes. So it's not just like a little sticker online. It's like an actual real prize, which is pretty cool. So they have given me a link for you guys. I will leave it in the description down below. So it is for 50% off of their annual membership. And if you have a single child, it is $59.99 for the year. If you have 2 or 3 kids that you want to sign up, then it's $77.99. And if you have more kids than that, then they have like a bespoke pricing range. So just reach out to them. But they also have a 7-day trial, so you can go ahead and sign up, no strings attached, see if it's going to be for your family, and if it's not, that's fine, but if it's great, then you can get a good deal on it right now via the link below. So I'll leave that for you there. So that's the first app or website that I recommend checking out. I wouldn't, like, under 5s, it would probably be a bit challenging, but definitely over 5, it's great. And if your child is not like au fait with reading it, it's fine. They've got like a little speaker icon in their website, and they can just click on that and it'll read it out loud to them. So that's really great. I did find that Jack needed some help with it for sure, but it's not like super intensive. Like, especially if you're homeschooling multiple grades, you could have one child doing that while you're working with another one and sort of just pop in when they need you. So it's really great for that. So let's move on to the next thing, and that is Khan Academy Kids. And this is actually a free app that you can get for your kids. I think they have like a junior one, and then they have an older one, and we haven't used the older one yet, but the junior one is fantastic. My kids have really enjoyed it, and I like that it is free. Like, it's kind of incredible. So there's also just fun learning opportunities. It's great for preschool age and older. All of my kids can use it. Well, Charlotte's still a bit young, but my 4-year-old and 6-year-old use it and love it. So that's a great free option. And then the paid option that we really enjoy is Learning with Homer. We've tried Reading Eggs, we've done ABC Mouse, and Learning with Homer and Khan Academy Kids. And the 2 that we've kept is Learning with Homer and Khan Academy Kids, because one's free and it's good. And if I'm going to pay for something, it needs to work, and it needs to work well. And I will say that Reading Eggs does work really well, but I just found it was it moved too quickly for my kids. Like, they needed more repetition, and Learning with Homer was a bit more gentle, and so we've really enjoyed it. And you can usually get a really good deal on it. Just keep an eye out for them. I'll see if I can find a link or something for you and have it down in the description below, and I'll link to the Khan Academy Kids as well. Basically, everything I talk about, I will try and link down below for you. And then the most recent one that we have been using, well, the recent 2 I should put up. One, they're both music programs. So one is Clap for Classics, and that is for preschool to age 5. So it's for younger age groups. And they are just fun. They're fun videos. It's about classical music. They do actually have like an instrument kit that they can send out to you, and your kids can do it. So it's interactive, but it is online. So yeah, I really like that. My little ones love it. All my kids love it, but we use that. And then the other one that we have very recently started is Hoffman Academy. And I am a pianist, and I desperately want my children to play music and just really enjoy music. Like, it's a big deal for me. It was growing up for me, and it will be for my kids hopefully too. However, I don't want to invest in like formal musical education too young. Jack is just 6, and really I didn't even start playing the piano until I was like 8 or 9, I think more like 9. And generally speaking, it is good to wait until your kids are older. So in the meantime, Hoffman Academy has free videos for learning how to play the piano. And both Jack and Annie, my 4.5-year-old, have been really, really enjoying that. They do have a paid membership, and I may sign up for that. I haven't decided yet. I may sign up for that. Annie is probably a little on the young side, but she is determined and she loves music. Like, she's just obsessed with it. So I couldn't say no, and it's free. So she sits there and she learns, and I just think it's very, very well presented. So if you don't have a piano teacher nearby, or you can't afford one and you want to look for an alternate option, Hoffman Academy I highly recommend that. So those are kind of like apps and websites that I recommend, things that we use to bring enrichment to our homeschool, things outside the, 3 R's. But there is also curriculum that we use, and I'm going to mention 2 that I have personally used. I don't want to talk really about things that I haven't really used, because I don't know if I can give honest feedback on that. But the 2 things that we've used, the curriculums, are Simply Charlotte Mason and A Year of Learning. So Simply Charlotte Mason is a Charlotte Mason-based curriculum, which I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together. We have used their habit training so far, and next year I intend to use a lot of their picture study and hymn study, poetry, all that kind of stuff. They offer all of it, and I really like it. It's affordable. It is something you can reuse. It's something you can do together as a family, and it's short, sweet lessons, nothing too crazy. I love so much about their company, and so far we've been using their history and their science this year, so not much of their enrichment stuff, but we've used their habit training previously. And I just love the format of it, and I like how there's enough instruction there to give you an idea of what to do, but not so much that you feel obliged to have to tick every single box and do every single thing. Like, it's very much how it works for your family. So really, really love them, and highly recommend you check them out. Abby from Rooted in Rest, she uses a lot of Simply Charlotte Mason in her homeschool, and she's really the one who inspired me to first look into it. So I recommend them and checking out her videos. I'll try and leave a link to her channel here. And then the other curriculum that I can recommend to you is A Year of Learning. I found them on Instagram last year and decided to purchase their curriculum, A Year of Tales, this year. And it is a full and comprehensive curriculum for preschool and early elementary, but we just use it specifically for enrichment study. So we do nature study and picture study, art and literature, poetry. I pick and choose from it what I want to do. It's like a feast. Honestly, when Charlotte Mason talks about giving your children like a feast of things to just learn from, I can vouch for that curriculum and say that is exactly what it is. And so we kind of pick and choose what we want, and it has been a lovely way to just connect, read books together, go down rabbit trails, and learn more about specific subjects. It's just, it's been a big blessing. Now, she's got A Year of Towels, and she's also got A Year in the 100-Acre Woods, and there is a new one that I just saw that she's got coming that is something like, I know it's based off of Charlotte's Web, so I don't want to say the title because I'm going to mess it up, but I saw it recently. So A Year of Towels is based on Beatrix Potter's books. A Year in the 100-Acre Wood is Winnie the Pooh, and this one, the latest one I've seen, is Charlotte's Web. So beautiful, beautiful enrichment studies for your kiddos, and I honestly think that you can adapt it for older children as well. It doesn't just have to be for younger kids, but yeah, you can adapt it for older too. So if you're looking for curriculum that is specific to like enrichment studies, look for things like picture study and art and music and things like that. There are so many available, and you just have to pick what you think is going to fit best for your family. And then the last thing I want to chat about, kind of last umbrella, I can't speak today, of homeschool enrichment opportunities is like the community, the homeschool community, because while I think the family is first and foremost, and that's where you should be focusing your efforts, there's also room for community, and it's an important part of it. And this is where, like, everyone talks about socialization, but honestly, this is where real life socialization happens, because when you're getting together with other homeschoolers and homeschool families, they're usually all different ages, and so it's more of a real life situation, because you don't go out to the workforce and only work with people the same age as you, So I'm going to sort of talk about a couple things. There are homeschool enrichment centers. We don't have them here in New Zealand. It's kind of like a hybrid schooling method where your child might go to this homeschool enrichment center for 1 or 2 days a week, and then the rest of the week you are schooling them. So they kind of get that classroom feel, and they might get to do things like woodworking and photography, and things outside of the box that are not necessarily academic. And a lot of people choose to do those. So look them up, see if there's something in your area, if that's something you're interested in. And then you've also got homeschool co-ops, which is a very American term. We don't use that term here in New Zealand. We just have homeschool groups. And I can't speak to a lot of using them myself as a homeschooler. We did a little bit last year. We did swimming lessons with our homeschool group here where we live. But I grew up with a homeschool group, and we did so many things, and it was such a big blessing. And we did mostly sports through them. We had a guy from our church. Actually, there was a young woman, and then there was a guy from our church who did sports with us, and we did all sorts. We did lots of different things. We had, I think one time we had like this competition for creating it must have been like a botanical habitat or something like that. I can't even remember now why we did it, but there were so many little projects and fun opportunities. We did field trips. I remember going to a bee factory, so like a honey factory. There were so many things that we did. So if you have a homeschool group in your area, go and check it out. I mean, you don't have to commit to it. I'm not ready to commit to a homeschool group right now while my children are so young. It's just too much on my plate at the moment, but certainly as they get older, we'll be looking more into it. And you will often find that homeschool parents can then share their own talents and skills between each other, and so your kids can learn things from other people they wouldn't have been able to learn from you, and vice versa, and it's just really great. So just make sure that it is adding to your family and not taking away and draining you, because there are situations where it can just be too much. So don't feel bad if it's not the right fit for you either. And then the last thing I was going to chat to you about is just friends, homeschool friends, even non-homeschool friends, just getting together and sharing skills and providing learning opportunities for your kids. I know that there are several homeschool families that I have known who haven't necessarily done homeschool group, but have got another family that they might pair with, and they might do subjects like history together, or science, or nature study, or art, anything like that. And they kind of meet together every couple of weeks or once a month and just share those opportunities with each other. And I think that's great. So look for community, because it often is there if we just dig a little and look to find it. And yeah, there are so many ways to bring enrichment to your homeschool and not make it just like sit down and do schoolwork kind of thing. So I hope this was encouraging to you. I hope it wasn't overwhelming. And that it was just a blessing, because there's just a plethora of things that we can pick from nowadays. And yeah, it's kind of incredible. So anyway, if you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. And don't forget to go out check out Night Zookeeper. Like I said, it's 50% off for the annual subscription. So I'll leave that all down there for you. And yeah, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.